Hello, welcome channel. Welcome to my drab gray room today. I want to talk about men's and women's ministries. So when it comes to men's and women's ministries, I feel like it's, kind of good and kind of bad, because sometimes men's and women's ministries can get caught in between. Are we kind of like a big church where we're all meeting together? Are we like a small group where we're talking about and applying faith to our lives? And they can kind of become a little bit directionless. I think the main danger for me with men's and women's ministries is without a clear focus, you essentially are presenting to the church that Christianity is something like a food court, where you just walk in, you say, I kind of like this, I kind of don't like that, and you just kind of pick and choose what you want, and you just offer men's and women's ministry as one of those menu items. So if it's scratching where you itch, cool, let's go there, let's not. But the Christian life is much more missional. It's going to be sacrificial. It's going to be hard work. It involves being messy in people's lives. All these things that we've got to make sure, if we do a men's and women's ministry, that those are still there, apparent. And so if you've got the focus of your church in the DNA of your men's and women's ministry, you should be good, and it'll be an effective ministry. For us, there's kind of two goals that I see with these men's and women's ministries, or really any age-based group or affinity-based group in a church. First, this is a stepping stone into real relationships. So at our church, we want people not just to be coming to church, worshiping together, but also spending time in relationships and really applying faith, like working out, well, what does this look like in my life, sharing with people, loving people. But to get to that level of relationship, people in our culture seem to need a little bit more than just being told, hey, go make friends, and then go bear your life to them. There needs to be some sort of intermediate step. That's where men's and women's ministries can give those opportunities to get to know some people from the church in hopefully more familiar settings. This is also an easy way to invite someone to come to church who maybe isn't quite keen on attending a church service, but they want to get a little bit of that Christian, maybe Christian culture or Christian community in their life. So come to these events. You can get a little sample and hopefully start greasing the wheels toward these relationships. The second thing, though, is that men's and women's ministries can't just stay there as these community events where we're having fun. That's fine, but we can do that outside the church. There has to be your DNA in the church pushing forward these ministries. So for us, we want to be modeling in men's and women's ministry what it looks like to be in those relationships, talking about your faith. So it won't just be having a discussion, maybe something that's more familiar with like a community group or a life group where you're in someone's living room, but maybe as a part of the night, we're now asking questions about, how are you doing, in your faith, or what are you learning? That's one thing that we want to ask with like men's events is bring something, maybe something you've learned, maybe something you're struggling with, or a thought that you've had, something to encourage someone else, as a way to demonstrate that when we come together in community, we're contributing to other people and that we can do this faith thing together. So I see kind of men's and women's ministries as a link from this public profession of faith to more of a private application, but within community. So it helps us lead toward that community while modeling what does this discipleship step look like when we're in that community. So I'm looking forward to it. We've got a couple events, both men's and women's, and we'll see how those last, and we'll see where we end up maybe a year from now. Take care, guys.